know that feeling, right? When you've been overlooked at work, or undervalued, or just treated unfairly. It's something pretty much all of us have felt. But what if the real reasons it happens and the actual solutions are totally different from what we think? All right, let's get into it and uncover what's really going on.
First, just to get a sense of how big this issue is, get this. A NASDAQ survey recently found that a whopping 55% of employees have experienced discrimination at their current company. Just let that sink in. That is more than half the people you work with. This isn't just about a few problem people. It's a huge systemic issue in our workplaces.
So, what are we even talking about when we say unfair treatment? Look, it's not always about the big, illegal stuff that makes headlines. It's often the smaller, everyday things, the moments that just slowly wear you down. You know, like when a manager always gives the cool projects to the same person, or when one team gets all the praise while another's hard work goes totally unnoticed. It's all those times that you're made to feel invisible, and it's happening constantly.
Okay, so now that we're on the same page, we're going to tackle this whole workplace fairness question head on. And to do that, we have to start by shattering some of the biggest myths out there. We're going to talk about why treating everyone exactly the same is actually a terrible idea, and why HR might not be the ally you think they are.
I mean, think about it. How many times have you heard a leader say, "I treat everyone the same"? It's like the go-to line to sound impartial, right? But here's the thing. What if that well-meaning phrase is actually a huge red flag? What if that idea of sameness is really just a way of ignoring what people actually need to succeed? And that leads us straight to our first big myth, this idea that fairness equals sameness. We're about to see how this whole one-size-fits-all approach doesn't just fail, it can actually make things way more unequal.
This slide just breaks it down perfectly. Equality? Well, that's like giving everyone a size 9 shoe. Yeah, technically everyone has shoes, but it's not going to work for most people, right? Equity, on the other hand, is about giving everyone a shoe that actually fits. It recognizes that we all start from different places and have different needs, and it's about providing the right support so we can all do our jobs well.
So here's the bottom line. Real fairness isn't about pretending we're all the same. It's about actually seeing and appreciating our differences. It's about building a workplace where every single person feels seen and heard and has what they need to really succeed. Okay, so if fairness isn't about sameness, then where does all this unfairness come from? It's so easy to just blame it on bad managers, but honestly, that's barely scratching the surface. The real issue is often something much deeper, something that's built right into the system.
I mean, let's be real. Most managers don't wake up thinking, you know what, I'm going to be super unfair today. They're not cartoon villains. They're just people trying to do their jobs. So what gives? Well, fascinating research from UNC Kenan-Flagler Business School says the answer isn't about bad intentions. It's about the intense pressures of the system itself. The research really boils it down to two main things: crazy heavy workloads and totally broken reward systems. Managers are so swamped just trying to keep up that they don't have time for what the researchers call justice tasks. You know, actually listening to people, giving good feedback, being thoughtful. And at the same time, companies are usually rewarding managers for hitting technical targets, not for being fair, supportive leaders. The system basically sets them up to fail.
All right, so if managers are in a tough spot, you're probably thinking, well, hold on, isn't that what HR is for? Aren't they the neutral referee here? You'd think so, but that might just be another myth we need to bust. What if the department designed to protect us is actually caught in a major conflict of interest? Let's just be really direct about this. HR works for the company, not for you. Their loyalty at the end of the day is to the employer who signs their paycheck. And look, a lot of HR folks are great people who really want to help, but they are stuck. When your complaint could potentially cost the company money or reputation, whose side do you think they're ultimately going to be on?
So what's the better way? Well, it's about bringing in a neutral third-party investigator. And this isn't just about being fair, it's just plain smart. When employees trust the process, they're more likely to actually report problems. And that means companies can catch issues early before they blow up into something much, much worse. It builds trust, it boosts morale, it's a win-win.
Okay, we've busted the myths. Now it's time to talk about what actually works. Because building a fair workplace isn't just some impossible dream. It's a real, achievable goal. It's about creating a place where people feel valued and respected. And it's something we can all have a hand in building.
So how do we actually build it? Here's a 4-step framework. First up, use data. Stop guessing. Actually look at the numbers on pay, promotions, and performance ratings. Data doesn't have a bias. It will show you exactly where the problems are. Second, change what you reward. Stop rewarding only performance numbers.
Start making those justice tasks, like mentoring and giving good feedback, a real rewarded part of a manager's job. Third, and this is a big one, accountability. Training is nice, but there have to be real consequences for managers who are consistently unfair. And finally, you have to create safe reporting channels. People need to know they can speak up without fear of it coming back to bite them. That is non-negotiable.
And really, if you take one thing away from all of this, let it be this. Fairness is not a destination. It's not a box you check. It's an active, ongoing system that you have to intentionally build and then constantly maintain. It means having tough conversations and being willing to challenge the way things have always been done. And it's a journey we're all on together.
So I'll leave you with a question to think about for yourself. Take a hard look at your own company. What gets people promoted? What gets them celebrated? Is it just about hitting targets and closing deals? Or is the hard, time-consuming work of treating people with dignity and respect actually valued? The answer to that question will tell you pretty much everything you need to know.